right, here we go. What's going on, Karen?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Just checking. I just wanted to start the way that they start with Gaster and Shalewa, just to
Oh,
see.
I wasn't prepared.
Uh,
You didn't tell me that up front.
how come it's still hard to open up a can of biscuits? Like, why is it still as hard to open up a can of biscuits now as it was in 1965?
I don't know. Them bitches scared the shit out of me.
Why haven't biscuits technology improved?
I
It's
don't know.
been
It's fucking surprise.
my
Surprise!
my whole life. The instructions for opening up a can of biscuits is you open up that part at the top and then you bang it against the counter and then it don't open and then you have to go and just like rock people's elbow to shit, get a gun. Like, what the fuck is wrong with a can of biscuits?
I don't know. That bitch is locked up good and tight.
Who is responsible for the can of biscuits technology in the world? Like, why? It's like, I'll guarantee the Japanese biscuits is better than ours. They probably just unzip the biscuits or something. It just come out.
You let online tell you, honey, they light years ahead of us.
Yeah, like it seems like a distinctly American problem where we just figured it can't be no better.
Mm-mm.
And this is what we got to deal with for the rest of our lives.
It's that Pillsbury Doughboy fault. He's the one that's like, nope, I've been making money off of my biscuits like this for years.
Right. And then you got the liars, of course, that are bought by Big Biscuit that are like, oh, it's real easy. You just follow the instructions. Well, I do follow the instructions. I'm not stupid. It just don't work. It never works the way they say. You got to fucking get in there and you end up with biscuit all over your hands. And you always end up with one little biscuit that's all fucked up because you had to dig that one out to get to the rest of the biscuits. It's never like it's supposed to be, you know?
Like I said, and it's like no rhyme or reason, because when you open up, like, let's say a soda, you twist the top, you understand you crack it is going to open up, or you take it and you take the thing and you pop it open. You
look
know
at
what's
soda,
happening.
Look at soda technology over the time of our lives, though. It started off with bottles, glass bottles at that.
Come on.
And they had that metal top that you couldn't put back on. So once you open it, you better drink the whole damn soda. It's gonna be flat.
Bitch.
And then it went to the cans, which was smaller but compacted, easier to chill. But same issue. Once you open it, that was it. You had to finish your soda that day. But it was only 12-ounce cans. But then they came out with plastic bottles with twist-on tops. That is how shit is supposed to work. Where is the equivalent of the plastic bottle for the biscuits at this point? Why is it still the Pillsbury can that you have to fucking drive over it with your car to get the biscuits out? It don't make sense. Think about it. Anyway,
that bitch is hard to pop open too. And the thing is, it's no rhyme or reason. It's no time or two. It'll be different if you knew, but you don't never know. Like I said, it's always a goddamn surprise. Like, pop, surprise. Right. And a lot of times people end up dropping it on the ground because it just pops open in their hands because they fucking scared.
Anyway, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. Find us everywhere you get podcasts. Leave us 5-star reviews. We appreciate those. Leave comments on the Spotify, question and answer, vote in the polls, all that good stuff. The official weapon of the show is
the taser,
and the unofficial sport,
bullet
ball extreme. And we don't really have anything specific to talk about, so let's just get into the news. More lies are coming out about the Uvalde school shooting.
Oh, you don't say.
The latest one is that they had a sniper, they had an officer with a rifle who saw the dude going into the school, and he radioed in to the rest of the cops like, hey, do I got permission to shoot this dude? And they said, nah.
So is that a true statement or no?
That's a true statement. The request from the Uvalde officer who was outside the school about a minute before the gunman entered the elementary had not been previously reported. And he asked for permission to shoot the gunman before he entered the building, but the supervisor did not hear the request or responded too late, according to a report released Wednesday. This is one of the reasons I'm just like, we need gun control. We need assault rifles bans. I think we don't need guns at all. But one of the reasons that I feel this way is because the idea that everything is going to work perfect in these scenarios is so far-fetched.
Yes, it is.
As long as we allow these guns to be out here, we're still going to have to deal with this kind of shit because it's never going to be enough. Because it might really, in their mind, when they were coming up with these protocols and practicing the shooter drills and all that shit, this happened perfectly every time. Hey, I need permission to shoot, permission to engage. Pow, we saved 21 lives today. Instead, it's, hey, I need permission. Hold on, Bob. Give me 1 second. I'm on my lunch break. Give me
y'all know how it is up there. Normal ass job. Somebody on lunch break. Somebody walked away. Somebody went to go pee, and all of a sudden it's sitting in the queue.
Let me go grab Carl real quick and see what he thinks.
Let me push it up to the supervisor. I don't have permission to authorize this.
Yeah, Carl. Can you text me back real quick when we get this? It's yeah.
And you know what's so funny? He asked for permission. When they shoot black people, I don't never hear nobody talking about I had to ask for permission. I was told no. You know what they do? They fucking shoot.
Right. Like that. We're never gonna get to the real solution. So we got to talk about mental health and how many doors is on a school. Like how many doors can you put on a July 4th march? Like we just
yeah, and I wish they would ask permission. It would make a big difference. Fucking delay shooting us and other black and brown.
Right.
People,
they don't need permission. They don't need permission to shoot black people, Karen. Everybody knows that.
Oh, my bad. That's not part of the protocol.
Let's see. What else is happening out here in this world? This terrible, crazy world. Boris Johnson. He's in some hot water over there. I guess they call it tea. He's in some hot water over there because
what that nigga doing?
People want him to resign. And since he hasn't, apparently there's been like a mass resignation of people over there in office. Brushing off calls for his resignation after 3 cabinet members and a slew of junior officials said they could no longer serve under his scandal-plagued leadership.
He been Trump Jr. He been an off-brand Trump Jr. the whole goddamn time.
He rejected demands that he step down during a stormy session of the House of Commons amid a furor over his handling of sexual misconduct allegations against a senior official. Later in the day, a delegation of some of his most trusted allies in the cabinet paid a visit to the prime minister at 10 Downing Street to urge him to go, but he remained unmoved. The prime minister turned down suggestions that he seek a dignified exit. He's like, hell no, I'm going undignified.
Right. Why would he? Why would he?
Y'all ain't about to make me leave dignified.
He don't give a fuck.
I would rather die.
He don't care about y'all rules.
Right. He said, you know what?
He shouldn't have got the position in the first place.
Bruv?
That's what he said.
Do you want the smoke, bruv?
Or he sipped on his tea and crossed his legs and was like, nope.
The 58-year-old leader who pulled Britain out of the European Union and steered it through the COVID-19 outbreak is through. Is known for his ability to wig out of tight spots.
He handled all of this shit horribly. Caught it 2 or 3 times himself.
Managing to remain in power despite allegations that he was too close to party donors, that he protected supporters from bullying and corruption allegations, and that he misled Parliament about government office parties that broke pandemic lockdown rules. I do appreciate, like you say, Donald Trump Jr., and I guess it's Junior, because their scandals are still very lightweight compared to the shit Trump was getting into.
Oh, yes.
And I appreciate that one of the scandals is this nigga was going to parties. Like he told everybody to stay home and chill, then he went out to the party.
Yep.
And that's like a big scandal, you know?
They're like, what is you doing, bruv?
Yeah. Like you went to a shindig and broke lockdown after you made everybody else lock down. They were like in America, that wouldn't even register as a top 1,000 scandal of Trump's administration. He hung on even when 41% conservative lawmakers voted to oust him in a no confidence vote last month. But recent disclosures that Johnson knew about sexual misconduct allegations against a lawmaker before he promoted the man to a senior position pushed him to the brink.
What?
And I wish this was enough. Donald Trump was literally grabbing people by the pussy and being like, yeah, I've got caught on tape saying it. What's the problem?
What's the motherfucking problem? And what you gonna do?
In holding on to his office, Johnson is attempting to defy the mathematics of parliamentary government and traditions of British politics. It is rare for a prime minister to cling to power in the face of this much pressure from his cabinet colleagues. It makes sense, though, because I do think the thing about Trump is that he successfully, in a way, moved the Overton window of scandal to like, listen, if you can push the party loyalty to a breaking point to where they have to pick to be out of power or to support you, at least in America, the math was, we'll just support you.
Yes. Over here,
We'll give our whole party away to stay in power. You represent power. You represent us. We don't mind if we have to go against everything we've ever said.
Correct.
And I wonder if he's thinking that math too, where he's like, yeah, they're trying to get me out of here, but if I can wear through this scandal, I will have broken the party effectively to have to bow down to my leadership and only my leadership.
Don't be like America. Don't be stupid. You already got Brexit, which is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Don't divide and have all your costs go up, and you got a dummy as a leader.
Because even when Trump lost here, the Republican Party is still pretty dedicated to him. Like they want to run him again.
Yes, they do. That's why they would not vote for him not to be able to never run again.
Yeah, like low key, we need one of them Big Macs to go down the wrong pipe or something. We're gonna be
get that cholesterol
trouble.
a little higher.
Right. But yeah, people want him to get the hell out of here. And then there's a rumor. Okay, now this part is not proven yet.
Okay.
And there's also a thing that they have something in their country where you can put like a halt on the news, I guess. Like you can be like, hey, you can't report this yet. You know, I'm like, for whatever reason, maybe it's sensitive, maybe it's incorrect, but people are wondering if he got his hairdresser pregnant. That's the latest.
What?
That seems to be the latest thing that has escalated to like the 30 or so resignations that popped out today.
The hairdresser that ain't been combing his hair, because that shit been flying everywhere. Every time I see that nigga, what did they combing?
Well, honestly, see, that's what a lot of people say is like, he was fucking his hairdresser, but look at his hair. And I'm like, no, that explains the hair. Because if you fucking somebody, if like maybe he was looking for a different kind of trim and he was willing to let his hair look like that.
Apparently so, because every time I see him, that shit is gone with the wind. What is happening?
Yeah, like everybody's been making the same hack ass joke. I'm like, it's the opposite, man. He's out here like, listen, man, the haircuts are 1 star, but the sex 5 out of 5.
Haircuts 1 star.
Would recommend. Yelp review giving away all the details. Service a 5. But look at your hair. I didn't say what service.
No, I sure apparently not.
But they think he got her pregnant and moved her to Canada now, or moved her back to Canada or something. I don't know if I don't know if it's true or not.
I wouldn't put nothing past him though.
Right. Everybody was clowning it on Twitter. Twitter ain't the, Twitter ain't exactly the news. So who knows? I haven't seen any reputable sites, confirm this yet.
Right. Trust if somebody probably digging, trying to find out if that's the truth.
Yeah. But if he was getting some cut up, but not on his head.
Not on his hair.
That makes sense.
She was trimming them edges, but not the edges on his head. Right.
So it just made me think, maybe. Come here, lonely Las Vegas travelers may now have virtual reality porn headsets delivered to their hotel rooms. Okay, first thing I'm thinking, who's in charge of cleaning off these headsets? Okay, because I've seen how you clean the rest of the hotels. I've seen Dateline.
How you clean your regular ass sex toys at your house.
I've seen when Chris Hansen comes into a hotel room with a black light and shines and there's cum on everything. It's just like, oh, it's cum on the remote. It's cum on the TV. It's cum on the sheets. It's cum on the toilet. It's cum on the ceiling.
All you gonna see is prints of the glasses all everywhere.
Yeah, I just want to know who's cleaning them. All right. But
that
yeah.
is some more shit for them. No, I ain't think about that. Some more shit for them to wipe down.
Yeah. Visitors can now get there. And now I gotta call. So that's also embarrassing. Cause now I gotta call down to the motherfucking concierge, like, hey, so
Right, because they're not gonna have it just sit
this
in
is
the room.
room 205, and I just need I need a little, like, kind of room service, if you know what I'm saying, not a little virtual room service. So like, sir, what are you trying to say? I just need like the thing that goes on your head. Oh, you want a mask so you can sleep better? No, not that kind of mask. Like maybe like a headset type thing. Oh, you want the jack off virtual reality headset? Hey, everybody, room 205. Mr. Morrow wants the jack off headset. Y'all go ahead and wipe down. Get the cum rags out, everybody. Let's go ahead and wipe that down.
Yeah,
send it on up there.
And they probably do that because they don't have enough to go in every room. It should be in there like they lock it, like, in the lock or something, and be like, hey, if you open up this bitch, we're gonna charge you for it. But nope, they like, well, look, we only have 10 for the whole building.
VR bangers. First of all, the name.
Who named this? The porn people?
Right, like the name is already
Bang Bros named this. That y'all paying them a percentage?
The name is already too fucked up for me to call down the room service and get this. Y'all gonna need some VR bangers. Like, oh, they gonna be. I mean, yes, sure, sir, no problem. Hey, y'all, he ordering it. Like, hold on one second. Hey, man, this nigga getting some VR bangers. It's partnered with several hotels in Vegas to deliver virtual reality headsets directly to guest hotel rooms. The distinctive tech company specializes in adult films uniquely developed to be viewed using three-dimensional virtual reality headsets. Honestly, at that rate, you could have stayed home. Could have bought you a VR headset and stayed in your house. You came to Vegas. You need to get out there and have sex with some prostitutes.
You came to Vegas.
Honestly, I'd rather catch the monkeypox from a prostitute.
The hoes is out there. And you was like, nope, just go ahead and give me these banger glasses.
They're going to be rushing you and shit. Sir, we can need the headset for another room.
It's checkout time.
It's been 30 minutes, sir. That's plenty of time.
Limit on it.
That's plenty of time. It's like the treadmill.
It's going to have a 2-hour limit.
Sir, it's been plenty of time, okay? The rentals are available for $50 a day. Sir, here's also a flashlight to go with that. Good luck.
Ma'am, here's the deal, though.
Would you like the virtual upgrade charge for lube?
Would you like a butt plug for extra 10?
Mm-hmm. To keep the freaky delivery discreet, the company has enlisted the help of self-driving robots. So who else gonna have self-driving robots in the fucking hotel, though? Think about it. It's not gonna be discreet at all. If self-driving robots don't do room service and turn up the bed and deliver sheets.
Oh, so you don't want people delivering it? I don't get this.
I hope the self-driving robots are neon and they got titties painted on them and shit. And they make
them shit's gonna be glowing and shit.
Yeah, I hope they make.
It's gonna be going down the hallway, waking everybody up. Dun, 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 dun.
Right, it's got glow sticks on it.
Hell is this?
I hope it's got glow sticks. I hope it fucking I hope it's got neon dicks painted on the side.
And if the people got a program and somebody go program it to just go and knock on all the doors in the hallway, right, to get to the right one.
You be in your room minding your business, trying to watch TV or some shit, and then down the hallway. What is this?
I'm looking for room 1801. 1801. I'm going to room 1801.
What is this? What is happening right now?
It's in the elevator partying all by itself. You sitting there and all of a sudden you hear the doors open up. You got it. I'm not riding with you. I don't know where you're going, but you ride by yourself, robot.
I'm just saying. It seemed kind of dangerous. Just seem like not even dangerous. It just seems kind of embarrassing.
To the room, does it knock on the door? I don't get it. Is it a cubby hole to go through? Or I don't get it.
Obviously, it comes to the door. You open the door, and everybody sees you bend down to get the virtual
headset.
Right.
So there's nothing discreet about this. Robots just don't float around hotels.
Right. This is, I don't know. It's gonna have a siren and alarms. It's gonna play anime porn sex sounds
while it's going down the hallway.
Yeah. Anyway, The CEO, Daniel Abramovich, even shared the company has incorporated some special scenes to ensure heightened levels of immersion and realism. So what's the special? Is it gonna be like in your hotel room? Like, I'm a prostitute from downstairs. You may have seen me at the bar.
And then what you gonna do? Because people are assholes. Then what you gonna do if somebody stands in the way of the road over and it can't go around? So now it's to land your package.
Or someone steals it.
Right, somebody steals it. Because everybody gonna know what it is. Because like I said, just if it was common for this to happen, people wouldn't think twice. But it's not.
Oculus Quest 2 headsets created exclusively by Facebook parent company Meta are the only ones VR Bangers utilizes in their deliveries. Okay, so now Facebook Meta is like, why am I in it? What I do? Like, y'all couldn't have kept this one on your own. Like,
right.
We was over here trying to just virtually steal another election.
Now why am I in it?
The customers can also rest assured every helmet will undergo a rigorous cleaning procedure after use. Yeah, if you the only day that would be appropriate to order this is like day one, because like they gonna get tired of clean. I've worked at places where they promised everything be super clean, and you know what? It was the first day someone came to work, but on the day 75, they was just like, man, spray some appliance on this shit and keep moving.
Ain't that the truth?
As of now, it's unclear which hotels are partnered with VR Bangers for the spicy delivery service. However, travelers may check with the hotels before booking. Yeah, because I like to book a room for two on the 5th. Also, neither here nor there. Y'all got them VR Bangers yet?
Them bangers. And my thing is this: what I don't understand is why won't somebody just bring it up to the fucking room? A person. I don't get this.
Either way it's going, because then I gotta look a person in the eyes when they hand me my fucking jack off headset.
No. I mean, if you're gonna order it before time, when I get to the room, like the bed and shit is made, why isn't it already in the room?
Oh yeah, that would make more sense.
Right, that would make.
But you know how they like to do that thing where they actually want to take their luggage up, and then they hold their hand out for a tip, and then they be like, "And would you like to jack off later, sir?"
No.
The jack off hours are from 10 p.m. until 8 a.m.
Yeah, they're gonna have to constantly be about quiet hours.
You can reserve your VR Bangers for 30 minutes anytime from noon until 6.
That shit gonna be loud as hell too.
Oh man.
Just in the volume and shit. What happens if it's Bluetooth would disconnect now?
What just happened to the shame of ordering porno movies to your hotel room? And they were always terrible because they were the porno movies that didn't show full penetration. And so they were horribly edited because no porn has ever been shot with the idea of not showing full penetration.
Right.
Even Japanese people, they figured it out. You show the penetration, then you pixelate the penetration. That way, at least you see that there was some sex happening.
Some real
but in this shit, it's just like people in awkward positions slamming against each other, and you don't know if there's any sex happening at all.
No, you're like, what are y'all doing?
And then you gotta pay a premium for these porns, and you like, oh, this porn that normally you can get on the internet for free. Or back in the day, you couldn't have got it on the internet for free, but it was no better than Skinamax. So you over here paying $20.
Yes, jacking your hotel bill up.
And you can't really fast forward or rewind because the fast forward and rewind in a hotel room is very slow to respond. So it's not like a VCR or some shit.
Nope.
So now you just watching terrible porn for extra amount of money, and then you can't really even jack off to it, and you fall asleep ashamed with blue balls and embarrassed. And then you go down to the hotel lobby to check out the next day, and they see you ordered the movies, but you don't talk about it. They just say something like
$300 on your bill.
Yeah,
because
and there's no amount they can say that's gonna make you. They can say, "Listen, sir, the hotel was $1,000 last night." And you're like, "That sounds about right." I did watch 4 minutes of a horrible, awkward pornography that I couldn't even jack off to, and immediately regret it. And went to go read that Bible that's in the stand instead to repent my sins. And so, you know what? If it's costs an extra $1,000, that makes a lot of fucking sense. So let me just take whatever you need out, whatever you feel like out of my credit card. That's what the deductible was for anyway.
Right. Take it out of the deductible.
And y'all have a good one. That's what the fuck happens when you order porn. This new shit where you get a fucking headset, it's just not, it's not the way of the world. It's not how it's supposed to happen.
Nope.
And we flew too far from the sun. And this is what the fuck we got left is this shit. This you got a robot bringing you your jack off fucking VR headset and
called head humpers or whatever they call it.
Right.
What the hell is this?
And a Kim Kardashian Rubbermaid fucking torso.
Right.
So
rolling down the hallway.
So you can be in Vegas fucking in your room with virtually and not living in a world of actual sin. You in Sin City doing no sin. Get on the street and get the fucking some regular prostitutes and get arrested.
They is waiting on you.
What happened to the days when you awkwardly looked a woman in the eyes and she took your money and you put on a condom and then you realize this was not the fantasy that you had in your head, and you probably regret that sex afterwards, but then at least you did have sex with some skanky prostitute in another state and help the general economy the way you're supposed to. Okay, like we are losing recipes.
We losing recipes.
Wendy Williams show digital footprint removed from social media.
Oh, is somebody mad? What's happening?
I don't know what is happening. Honestly, I've seen a lot of speculation. People are saying like her money is frozen in her bank account. People are speculating as to why, health issues, mental issues, her husband. I don't know.
Yeah, because they're all over the place, the stories.
But they did delete all of her Instagram and YouTube accounts. And
for the show?
Of the show, they deleted them from social media.
Wow. But you go, oh, so they're like, this shit don't exist no more?
Yeah.
Wow. That's never good. Who is doing this?
I don't know. I don't know what happened really.
Yeah, did they let somebody go and they got pissed? It was like, fuck it, I'm gonna delete everything.
Yeah, I legitimately don't know what happened. Like, I it's one of those stories where I tried to read several articles about it. Every time I walk away confused as to how it can be happening, and if people just aren't telling the whole story because they make it sound like all of her bank account is frozen, all of her assets are frozen.
Okay, what does that got to do with the social media stuff?
She fell out with the network. She doesn't want to leave her show, but they force her to leave her show. Sherry Shepherd's taking over the show. And so it's like all this innuendo and rumor. Just to me, none of the stories I've heard add up to make sense that someone, because I've never heard of this happening to someone else like this, like especially that prominent. So I really don't know what to say. Because it's so weird what's happening.
And the stories are all over the place when they come out too, like you said, and they don't make sense.
Yeah, so I don't know. I know a lot of people kind of want to have her side and have her back. Just off of GP, she's the face, she's the person we know. So it's like, yeah, something fucked up must be happening to her. They're trying to do this to this black woman. Honestly, I don't know.
I don't know. That's all you can get from me. I don't know.
Let's see what else is happening. Hours after a mass shooting, GOP candidate says time to move on and celebrate.
Yeah, that's the answer to everything.
Illinois State Senator Darren Bailey has since apologized if in any way we diminished the pain being felt across the state today.
No,
he's the Illinois. It happened in Chicago. He's the Illinois. What?
Yeah, they have no compassion and they don't care about their populace.
10:15 a.m. Y'all had a mass shooting. 8 people dead now. And at noon local time.
Also, 2 hours later.
Less than 2 hours.
Well, goddamn. The guy's still smoking.
He went live on Facebook from Skokie, a village about 20 minutes south of Highland Park, where he planned to attend a parade. Keep in mind, they didn't catch this kid for a few hours, and a kid, whatever, y'all know me.
Right.
They didn't catch this dude for a few hours. He drove around. He dressed as a woman to escape, drove around in a silver whatever car, and had more guns. Actually stopped by another place in Wisconsin, thought about shooting it up and just didn't.
Ooh,
yeah, I saw that today. So, like, this dude, this politician, could have been at the next place to get shot up by the same person. Because they didn't know where the guy was. They didn't know which way he traveled. They didn't know what his plans was. He had missed contemplating shooting up another area. He wanted to do more. This could have been your dumb ass could have been up there like, let's party, fuck that shit, and then bow.
And still not care.
This is the Republican policy with this shit, is ignore it and keep the party going.
This is what we do.
At the start, after stating that several people had been shot, he called for prayers for the families. Law enforcement and organizers of the Skokie Parade, which was canceled.
That's why people's like, I don't want to hear your thoughts and prayers because you don't care. Don't know. Pass laws, nigga. Don't nobody care about that.
Which was canceled because of the shooting. They've done an amazing job. There's a lot of confusion and frustration that the parade's been canceled, but they did the right thing because people's safety has got to come first. The shooter is still at large, so let's pray for justice to prevail. Then let's move on and let's celebrate the independence of this nation. Woo! He was standing in front of a group of people holding campaign signs and then said voters had to get corruption and evil out of our government. And get me in there with some corruption and evil of my own. He ended the prayer by calling for celebrations again. Bless us and protect us as we go about our day celebrating the most amazing country where shootings happen every day, B.
Apparently with the chickens dying every day, B.
The country where we move on and celebrate.
Yeah.
Within 2 hours.
We do that with everything. We doing that with COVID. We doing that with a lot of shit. We just like, let's just move on.
He later put out a statement. He later, talking to Vice News, said the spokesman put out a statement saying, I'm heartbroken about today's tragic events and the pain and loss felt by so many. My intent was to pray for the victims and those affected by today's tragedy and for the shooter to be caught and prosecuted without further loss. I hope we can all come together in prayer and action to address rampant crime and mental health. It's always mental health.
Don't believe you.
Issues. He spelled it mental heath. So that's a typo. Maybe because he had already took the L. To make sure these horrific tragedies don't happen again. Meanwhile, in 2020, his team held a fundraiser featuring a raffle for a semi-automatic rifle.
Right, because he don't care.
Yep. So nice. Literally 2 hours later.
Told you the gun hadn't even cooled off.
Right. People ain't even been informed which ones of their loved ones have gotten killed, and he's out there like, yeah, man.
Yep. No compassion, no empathy. Actually, do not care.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy on Tuesday signed 7 new bills into law aimed at curtailing gun violence, including legislation to allow the state attorney general to pursue lawsuits against the firearm industry.
Let's go. Hold somebody fucking accountable.
That's why you gotta vote Democrat, man. It's more than just the president.
Right.
Murphy, a second-term Democrat who's already signed and keep in mind, he barely won re-election. And I love it. He's governing like, fuck it.
Right. I'm gonna do this shit until I can't no more.
Who's already signed a number of measures focusing on gun violence and vocal the fatal Independence Day shooting. Fatal Independence Day shooting in Illinois, as well as recent fatal shootings in Buffalo, New York, and Uvalde, Texas. I mean, there's that many to go around. In the wake of horrific mass shootings in Highland Park, Illinois, Uvalde, Texas, and Buffalo, New York, it's necessary we take action in order to protect our communities. Previewing what could be more legislation to come, he said there's more work to be done, particularly on how New Jersey will address the Supreme Court striking down this justifiable need requirement to carry a handgun. Murphy said after signing the new laws that in response to the court's suspension of gun rights, he wants to see Democrat-led legislature address where handguns can and cannot be carried, as well as expanding the list of people prohibited from carrying. Yeah.
Right, because that particular job is the safety of the populace. You can't be like, y'all do whatever the fuck y'all want to, and then everybody acts acting surprised when all of a sudden mass shootings go up, home shootings go up, suicide rates from these guns that are sitting in people's homes go up, and everybody act like them numbers don't matter, like those people don't matter all of a sudden.
I just like the idea of moving on. Like, Okay, the Supreme Court did what they did. Now we just pass a bunch of other rules. Let's operate within the rules they put out here, and we just make a bunch of laws about the shit, because it's ironic to me that the Supreme Court says, listen, it's the people's right to Second Amendment. You can't stop that. But unless it's for special areas, special locations, such as a federal building, like the one we're in as a Supreme Court.
Right.
We don't want no fucking guns in here.
Right. You don't
But
want them in there.
You on the subway, you need to just deal. You know? The bills he signed authorize the state attorney general to bring public nuisance claims against gun manufacturers and others who market firearms. That's huge, because then you can sue them for these mass shootings and shit.
Yeah, hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. And that's the thing. You have to go after the money, because that's the only shit that make people move. Because you start holding them accountable, and you know what? And get on their ass. You know what happened? They'll start adjusting, which means they'll start doing things like guns will start automatically having safeties on them, and you start getting your guns with all this special shit around it, so you can't go kill nobody. They're gonna be like, whatever it takes for us not to be fucking sued. Require
a safety course in order to get a firearm purchaser's identification card in New Jersey. Training to get a carry permit had already been required. Hold those moving from out of state to New Jersey to the permitting requirement residents must follow. That means applying for a purchaser's permit within 60 days and registering weapons with law enforcement. Require gun sellers to retail so-called micro-stepping firearms, weapons that imprint each round of ammunition with identifying information once such technology is certified to be available by the Attorney General. Requiring the state registry to track ammunition sales. Increasing the penalties for people who purchase firearms parts to manufacture weapons without serial numbers from a third-degree crime to a second-degree crime, taking the possible punishments from 3 to 5 years in prison to 5 to 10. Ban 50 caliber rifles, guns. Yeah. So
that means larger, more bullets.
50 caliber is bigger bullets that harm people.
Oh, larger bullets all in itself. Wow.
50 caliber. Yeah, okay. 50 cal. Let's see. North Carolina workers sue company that say fired them for refusing to pray at work. Let us see how the Supreme Court rules on this one.
Right.
2 former employees, because they already ruled I forgot to mention yesterday, but they already ruled last week that that coach can pray before football games and shit, which a lot of people will see as no big deal, except from my understanding, that coach retaliated against players who did not want to pray with him.
Well, then that's the
which is what led to the whole thing. But his lawsuit ended up becoming, do I have the right to pray? And of course, this Supreme Court agrees that he would. They believe in almost like religious, like it's even beyond freedom. It's religious mandate to some extent.
Right, but yet I gotta hear y'all fucking keep talking about Sharia law. Get the fuck out of here. You know, you would not allow this for any other religion.
Oh yeah, definitely not in America. But yeah, they said they refused to take part in the firm. And the firm they were working for is daily cult-like Christian prayer meetings. That is crazy. And do I know about this when you fucking hire me? Because I think I'd say no in the interview.
Right.
Like, but honestly, even if I knew about it, I'd be like, I'm just not gonna do it.
All right, you can't make me or force me to.
Right. What if I'm in a different religion than you? What if I'm an atheist? Like, it could be a bunch of shit. John McGaha and Mackenzie Saunders. Said in a lawsuit filed Monday that the owner of Aurora Pro Services created a hostile work environment based on religion and openly threatened to fire workers who didn't attend the lessons. The sessions. Yo, that's the next level.
Yeah, I got shit to do. Like,
even if you had nothing to do. Because other people in the meetings, Karen, they got shit to do. They come into the meetings.
Oh, yeah. It shouldn't be a requirement. No.
Yeah.
Have it on your own time.
Like, that's like, it's not even about being busy. I might want to just sit at my desk and do fucking nothing.
Right.
You can't just fucking make me come pray with you. You have to participate, the owner said, according to Magaha in the lawsuit. If you do not participate, that is okay. You don't have to work here. You are paid to be here. Because that's what Jesus would do. That's mighty Christian of you. You know, just like
your
Jesus,
right of choice.
just like Jesus would. Okay, this is just what he believed. It's not me, it's him. So come on to this room and pray with us now. And it's like, well, I don't want to pray with y'all. I'm just gonna go get some Taco Bell at lunch. I'll come right back. Well, I mean, you can do that, but just, you know, go to Taco Bell, but you don't have to come back because you won't have a job. So come on in here and get on your knees. So I understand the lawsuit, the prayer meetings lasted nearly an hour, during which the defendant's owner would pray and recite scripture from the Bible. This a cult.
Yes, an hour?
What in the Waco? Y'all at work, first of all.
Right.
What kind of company y'all got where you can take an hour a day and pray for a Bible lesson? Mrs. Saunders described the behavior as ranting. Ms. Saunders began to feel as though the meetings became cult-like after the owner required everyone to recite the Catholic version of the Lord's Prayer in unison. The lawsuit was filed at U.S. District Court in Greensboro, North Carolina, the same day the Supreme Court ruled that the football coach in Washington State, who knelt and prayed on the field after games, was protected by the Constitution. The complaint, which identifies the company as a defendant, does not name the owner. Public records and LinkedIn said
they're suing the company and not him.
Public records, LinkedIn, and an operator at Aurora Pro Service identified the owner as Oscar D. Lopez, 40 years old.
Yeah, it's easy to find.
Lopez did not respond to an email for comment. Oh, now you ain't got nothing to say? The company website does not explicitly say one has to be a Christian to work there, but it does say the solution can always be found in the Lord. Also, I would fall asleep. An hour of salt and pepper to taste prayers every day. I'm falling asleep.
I sound boring as shit.
The Catholic version of that already tells me everything I need to know. I'm gonna be asleep up in there.
No music happening, no entertainment. Good.
I wonder what happened if you went to one day like hour-long things, but then you just started doing all the black prayers and black songs and shit.
Confusing.
Wow. They were like, "Oh, sir, what? Well, what, sir?"
They put you out.
What do you mean, Rod? Well, what? That's what we're saying. I'm telling you. Well, oh, my bad.
Yeah, they don't do respond. Call and respond well.
Yeah, I just started getting the Holy Ghost laying on the floor, knocking all chairs over and shit. I'm like, don't invite him back.
That's why they would fire you. They wouldn't even fire you because you didn't participate.
I think, because then I'll flip it on them. Like, y'all the sinners. Y'all ain't even getting the spirit up in here. Can I get an amen? And the one other black person to come to be like, amen.
They put you out the room.
The Employment Commission said in a statement that Aurora Pro Services violated federal law when it required employees to participate in religious prayer service as a condition of employment and retaliate against employees who oppose the unlawful practice. In this economy, man, because I know I would have went to at least a couple of these meetings if I was down bad.
And that's the thing. It's like, these people need the work. So, so that's why he felt like he could do, or they felt like they could do whatever they wanted to do, because they was like, well, what you going to do? Quit?
Right. Exactly. Like, Florida City apologizes for saying a lot of people probably don't want to celebrate our nation. Statement that question is if July 4th celebrations were appropriate in the wake of division, hate, and unrest across the country has prompted cheers, backlash, and an apology from the city of Orlando, Florida. The home of the Pulse nightclub shooting. Sad that they got to be the ones to backtrack. But yeah, the statement appeared in a July 1st email newsletter that promoted the city's annual Fireworks at the Fountain 2022 event. A lot of people probably don't want to celebrate our nation right now. We can't blame them. When there is so much division, hate, and unrest, why on earth would you want to have a party celebrating any of it? The statement began. In the wake of the email, some, including local residents, conservative politicians, the press secretary, the Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, and a local police union representing 800 officers, because the police union always got time to take offense. Took to social media to protest what they characterize as a disrespectful, inflammatory tone. A day later, officials issued an apology for the statement on behalf of the city on Facebook and Twitter, where it attracted thousands of likes and comments. That kind of makes sense. I know a lot of people on our side would be like, why can't they say that, blah, blah, blah. My thing is, if you still gonna throw the fucking celebration, you're better off not even trying to have it both ways.
If we still gonna throw the celebration, we still gonna have the fireworks, and we still gonna be out here.
Yeah, like the only message that would have made sense here, and I like I said, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback this. I know they were trying to do something. I'm not assuming they're terrible people or nothing, but the only statement that makes sense is something to the effect of, we canceled the 4th of July celebration this year. You know. That's really, and like, if you're not gonna say that and you're not gonna do that, you might as well just have it, act like ain't shit happening, because that's the way it's been for 200 and something years. It's just been that way, and it's gonna be that way.
Yeah, people take offense to that shit. Even a lot of liberals and Democrats take offense because they were like, "This is our country. How dare you?" They'll come out the woodworks against this.
Yeah, I just, like I said, either don't do it, or if you do it, just do what you do, and let the other people score their woke points about, you know,
right. Let online have that fight.
Yeah, because you're a city. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
you're not. It's not even like the mayor released a statement. You're the city of Orlando. You're not gonna be able to live up to that like kind of revolutionary or aspirational message that you want to put out there, because just by the nature of being a city and representing all these folks, y'all, that ain't y'all.
Right.
So they the reason they had to back down is because of that.
And you're in Florida, the place where you know, I don't want to say the governor is known to just bully people that
that's it. Ron DeSantis.
That don't do what he says and don't give a fuck about COVID.
Yeah, that's
not the state.
Yeah, that part is not the part that bothers me. It's just either don't have a parade and really stand by what you're saying, or
I agree,
have it and leave that shit out. That's all. Because now you look stupid because you got caught. And what are you gonna say? We sorry. Yeah, you got to, because you really ain't got no leg to stand on. Y'all still held the fucking event.
Right.
Women go on nationwide sex strike and protest at SCOTUS overturning Roe v. Wade as pro-choice marches continue across America and rioters in Portland go on a rampage. Women are threatening not to have sex with men in protest of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade as pro-choice supporters continue to rally through the weekend. This must have been last weekend. Protests erupted on Friday following the court's ruling to overturn women's federal rights to abortions, with 26 states expected to further restrict or outright ban abortions. And now women are being called to withhold sex from men until abortion rights are federal law. As calls for a nationwide sex strike also gain momentum on social media.
I want to know who's the face of this. And would you not gonna have sex for 50 years? Because that's how long it took the other side.
I mean, it's probably who you expect to be the face of it, if we're being honest. If we're playing Guess the Race, at least the pictures I see appear to be.
That's what I thought, right? Because I was like, ain't nobody.
What do you mean? That's what you thought?
I thought they were white.
Okay,
yeah,
because some of this is audio.
My bad. I thought they were white because I'm like, yeah, like, you know, who else is coming out and saying this? Everybody else is like, I'm still gonna have sex. Fuck them, and we're gonna fight.
Women had the power here. No more sex until abortion. Rights are federal law. So mandatory vaccines are wrong. Mandatory pregnancy is right. This makes no fucking sense. Sex strike. Hashtag sex strike. Hashtag do not give men pleasure.
Well,
perhaps a hashtag sex strike, also known as hashtag abstinence, will help the men folk be all in on this women's rights issue, Roe v. Wade.
You're actually giving them what they want. That's actually what they want.
You think the men want to not have sex with women?
No, they want abstinence. They, you know, as far as they want you, because it's like the thing is to punish sex. So you not having sex. It's actually where they kind of want people to go.
There's a lot of interesting things about it. One, in this equation, essentially, is women do not derive pleasure from sex, or like the entire idea of sex is like a favor to men, which is an interesting way to proposition.
That's not true.
To proposition this whole
true.
thing, and it might be true for these people. I don't know, but that's another thing I'm thinking, just spitballing off of this. I think the reason that it's mostly white women is because white women are most likely to be dating the white men who are the face of and the power position of trying to control their bodies.
Agreed.
And so they're like, we can't make you pay at the booth, but I'll make you pay in the bedroom, because I think to a lot of women, white women specifically, it's never really been a deal breaker to be a conservative white man. And then and they look at them individually as like, they're fine to be a father of my children, they're fine to be my husband, my boyfriend, whatever. But at the same time, y'all don't agree on this shit, but you just see it as like a difference of opinion. Well, this difference of opinion turned into something real, something something that made your body illegal, your right to choose illegal.
Right. You didn't care why it was other people.
And so I think there's a level of like proximity that lets them know, like, well, we won't be fucking you anymore. Then it's like, well, that's not gonna last. But also, it's interesting that that's where you go with it.
Yes. And okay, like we was talking about the prostitutes in Vegas. Yeah, if they actually still want sex, they can still have it. Might not be with you, but it don't mean ain't nobody fucking just because you be like, I'm not fucking you.
Prostitutes, like, the price of the brick went up.
Yes, it did.
But yeah, and then there's also the like, I think it's kind of like a flippant, weird thing that happens a lot of times with this, where it's like, well, I'm gonna be a lesbian now, or some shit that people throw around, which I'm always like, all right. I mean, as a gotcha, or just like, because lesbians do exist,
right?
Right. This ruling also affects them.
Yes, it does.
Like, I mean, I guess is like that. Another thing that kind of not bothered me, but a thing I noticed online that I thought was kind of ironic and weird were the people that were doing the wink, wink, like, if you need to get some lawnmowers and you live in a state without wink, wink lawnmowers, come to my state and I'll help you get a lawnmower. You could stay with me and stuff like that, which people were basically trying to use as like code for like, I'll help you get an abortion. And I saw a couple of like people that were in the activist space already and Planned Parenthood and stuff, people that were working in this area before this ruling. And they were like, please do not do that. Like, not just don't say it, but if you need help, go to someone with actual like activist experience, someone that the organization that already has boots on the ground, because a lot of these people that are doing this shit for clout online and stuff, they're going to end up getting tracked by the government and stuff, because the government actually does track people's social media. And what they said is a virtue signal type thing that's more about clout than it is about actually helping people. Like, if my friend was like, man, I need to get an abortion, and your state does and mine doesn't, I would not be posting on my timeline, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'll be direct DMing them like, hey, or texting them or something like, hey, I saw what you said. Do you need help for real? Hey, you can stay on my couch, if that was something I was going to offer. But this thing of offering strangers on Twitter, this thing, they're like, in addition to one, is probably not true. Right. But two, there's actually agencies that are tracking this kind of shit. And you just put yourself on a radar, you will be watched. Like, this is not a game. So, and it did feel like a lot of people thought this is a game. And I even feel like, people are angry. So this is what's coming out. People want to react right away. But I even feel like when you put the hashtag sex strike, hashtag, whatever, even that feels like it's still kind of a game to you.
Right. And not trying to be funny, to me, it's like, oh, you don't take this seriously. Don't nobody give a fuck about you fucking or not. What people want is the laws changed.
Like, we're going to go Liz Estrada on this shit. Like, there's some Chirac shit. That's not gonna get us out of this. You know what I mean? Like that, like, it's not like Clarence Thomas is fucking a liberal woman who's gonna stop having sex with him and make him change his mind. Right. Like, that's not the problem. So yeah, it's but I get it. People are upset, and I think when this happens, a lot of people come out the woodwork, and um particularly in these times, white women have like
They be
um
wanting to be the face.
they just have messaging issues. It's just hard
Mhm.
for them to get it together because they have so much privilege in so many areas that they haven't considered a lot of stuff. You know, and in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
So
and it's kind of it's and sometimes I do have somewhat some compassion, not a lot, but I do have some compassion because, like you say, they lack the knowledge, they lack the wisdom. A lot of them lack the diversity. They're not around anybody but white people and white women. So when they rush out here being the face, and people bring up, "Hey, dog, everybody ain't a white woman," that's when the problem comes in, because it's like, well, I'm on your side, and then all of a sudden, it's this back and forth where
well,
they
it's
want to
like
be the victim, and you're like, well, there's other people too, and there's these other issues going on that you don't want to address.
yeah, it's like whenever they bring up like Handmaid's Tale or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they can only work with what they got, and their lives haven't really given them a lot of that type of experience, and unless they like really fucking tone hone in on like reading and history and stuff, which none of us is being taught in school.
Mm-mm.
Unless they really are into that type of world and environment, a lot of times they just don't know what they don't know.
Right.
And so they'll say some shit like they're trying to make Handmaid's Tale reality. And of course, every black woman in America is like, it is a reality for black women. It has been the whole time we fucking been here.
Right.
So it's just they don't know what they don't know, unfortunately. But yeah, it just, this is
Yeah.
just part of the system. This is just part of the cycle at this point, in my opinion. Is
Right. And they don't understand the backlash of people be like, why you want to be the face of this shit? Anybody, a lot of people go, anybody but you. And be it right or wrong, indifference, that's how a lot of people feel. Not you.
right.
Because you always come fuck it up, and the first time something happened, you get mad, pick your ball up or pick your uterus up and run home, and all of a sudden become white again and be like, fuck them niggers, and vote the other way. When your feelings get hurt, or you got to cry, or some difficulty, or people don't give you what you want.
Possibly. I mean, and at the same time, like, matter of fact, we can kind of get into this in the next segment, but like, it's not just a white woman thing. A lot of cis het women are going through this type of like recognizing that they have privilege and rejecting the privilege in these discussions and shit right now.
Because
and it's turning into a lot of like a lot of people saying really ugly things right now in a time where I don't think it's helpful.
Right, because the thing is, you could be in a marginalized group and still be an oppressor, and nobody wants to hear that. You could be in a marginalized group and be oppressed and be oppressor, but you can also,
well, white women are a marginalized group.
Yes.
Right. And so like the way that it's like easy to be like, I kind of fuck them and whatever. I'm like, and then there's another level for you and another level for me.
It's like subsections. So that's what I mean. Like, okay, you let's say white women, then you have the cis het women, and then if you want to go deeper into it, there's another subsection of that. So there's all these subsections within subsections that are also marginalized, that also have privileges that nobody wants to acknowledge. Even when it's called out, everybody clutches their pearls like they're the white woman, because they can only see this in white women and they can't never see it in themselves.
Let me see what you want to be. You better move your body, you better move your feet, and I want to groove. Show me what's cool. Riding, caring, baby. LGBTQ news. I try to take us down, but we still around. We lit. I try to still shine, but we on the ride. We lit. But you can't do what we're about to do. We lit. Black guys, LGBTQ news.
All right, let's start first with Macy Gray. Macy Gray made headlines for the first time in a long time. And Macy Gray is like a lot of people, like at least I've seen a lot of black women kind of like her over the last few years, and like just one of those people that people feel like it's underrated.
Yeah, been around for decades.
Yeah, but she went on Piers Morgan's show, which should tell you a lot. The fact that she went on there, that he wanted to have her on, and she had some comments that got her in some hot water.
Branches quickly and easily.
Oh, great. That she had some comments that got her in some hot water.
Okay.
Because they, of course, started talking about trans women, and as Pierces want to do.
I'll say this, and everybody's gonna hate me, but as a woman, just because you go change your parts doesn't make you a woman.
Right.
Sorry.
You feel that?
I know that for a fact. And
oh no.
Yeah, and she was saying this in reference to transgender women in sports competing with cisgender women, and so she was like, no. She told Piers Morgan Uncensored, people will hate me for saying this, but I know that for a fact. You want me to call you a her? I will, because that's what you want, but that doesn't make you a woman just because I call you a her and just because you got a surgery. And Morgan said that public figures were too terrified to say what a woman is. The singer agreed, said, I know. I would say a human being with boobs. How about you start there? And a vagina. The duo discussed the issue of transgender women in sports. As I support all trans rights to fairness and equality. Morgan then went on to add that's what he said. Wanted to add how he doesn't support transgender people with physically superior bodies that thrash on women in their sports.
And this right here is an example of a marginalized group who still have privileges coming out and just saying the most ignorant shit, like they aren't black and brown trans people. Like, I think a lot of people do that shit that Dave Chappelle do when they just assume that it's not trying funny white people.
Well, it's interesting though. She never brought up race.
No, she didn't.
So I don't even think it's the Chappelle argument. She just don't believe, like, she just doesn't believe trans women are women in that way.
And just across the board, it's very, very fucked up, because I guarantee you that there are a lot of people who was like, she's my favorite artist, I love her, and now all of a sudden they're hearing that one of their favorite artists or somebody that they've enjoyed their music for decades doesn't even respect them as a human being.
A woman goes through a completely unique experience in surgery, and finding yourself doesn't change that. Being a little girl is a whole epic book, you can't have that just because you want to be a woman. When Piers pointed out that Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling had been criticized for her views on trans women, Macy Gray said, it's the truth. I don't think you should be called transphobic just because you don't agree. There's a lot of judgment and throwing stones at people for just saying what it is. Do you know what I mean? Of course, social media people call her a TERF immediately. And yeah, just a lot of comments. Yeah, and I mean, it's funny. J.K. Rowling's name always comes up because she like the patron saint of TERFs at this point.
Right? She the poster child.
Which, if you don't know what a TERF is, trans exclusionary radical feminist. Basically, people that they're saying, I'm so feminist, I don't want trans women to be considered women, or to even be considered to have a same struggle similar to cishet women, because as far as I'm concerned, they're just an extension of male privilege, and it's men who have so much privilege they can choose to be a woman, which is such an ironic way to look at it, in my opinion. But I openly admit it's not my life. I don't know. I have friends that seem to be confused or feel some type of way about the idea of opening the idea of womanhood and women up to be more than just the experience of cishet women. But at the same time, it's like you can clearly look at the delineating, you can look at the line on this, and on one side of this line is like Caitlyn Jenner and Piers Morgan and Ron DeSantis, and like people that are bigots in every way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to line up with them, in my opinion, and say they're making some good points, or this time I think they're on to something. And I think that's enough for me to say I'm just trying to be respectful of people's different experiences and believe people when they tell me something.
Mm-hmm.
I can never know anything for sure. And also, because of the way we talk about this so academically, the trans experience is seen as like this one experience by every single trans person has. And I've heard people in their own words describe their childhoods, describe their transition, describe how their realizations. And it's different for everybody, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to live in a world where like people can choose to be different. And people, you know, whether, and I don't just mean that like I felt this way my whole life. I mean, even if they really woke up on Tuesday and said, I just changed my whole life because I felt differently today. I would like to live in a world where you can do that, and not this world where I need to like side with Pierce Morgan so I can like make a point against you. It doesn't seem worth it to me.
Nope.
And what's very funny about this is you never really see this argument made when it's men. You just don't. I'm not really sure what that means, but like this idea of like, you know what it probably means. I was thinking about it today. This is what it means. Men don't have that much oppression to deal with. And so there's no, when men want to exclude you from something, it's more like, I want to exclude you from the power and the privilege of this. But so like you'll never see an argument like what's happening with abortion, where cishet women are very upset that people are saying birthing people and people with vaginas and stuff like. They're very upset about, some of them are very upset by this language, which to me is like, it doesn't seem like it has to be an upsetting thing. It's not really a loss of anything. But you know, I think you'll never see a male version of that because for the most part, men have privilege enough to not be worried about like who's interrupting the narrative on my oppression.
Right. Because and it's also one of the things where for a lot of cishet women, they feel as though this is my struggle, like my personal struggle, and I'm a woman. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, how dare like a lot of black people when it comes to other marginalized groups, how dare you come in here and take my shine off my struggle and make the struggle not about me anymore? Yeah. And you're like, well, nigga, we all struggling.
Yeah, it just, there's something about it, man. I don't, like I said, and especially when it comes to sports, I double do not understand or know everything about the way it will work. I really don't. I wish I had some neat ass solution to tell everybody. I could just easily pander and be like, it don't matter. Like, but that's not true. There's people that have been competing in those sports their whole lives. And it does matter. And you know who it matters to a lot? The trans athletes. So I don't want to say some stupid shit like the sports is stupid. Who cares? A lot of people care, but at the same time, I don't really know what to do with that. I don't know. We haven't found the ways to qualify or quantify this in a routine enough accepted way yet.
And do you think that, and I'm gonna ask this just out of my kind of lack of knowledge, do you think that for people that are transitioning to men, do you think men do not feel a threat because they just make the assumption that you're not a threat to them? So
well, with sports in particular, you won't find it in sports because most people will assume that a body that is assigned female at birth is impossible to be stronger than a man.
Okay.
Like we won't have the opposite problem of a trans man being in the NBA, but because we really do parse things out to this very binary point of view, which is like male, female, or femme, man. And that's why when you hear people advocate for femmes a lot of times, like like some of the podcasts I listen to that be like, oh, we're a podcast for femmes and black femmes and stuff. And that means for them, trans women, trans men, gay men, and cishet women. So you and non-binary people normally too. Basically, when you look at that pool, that circle, what you're really saying is cishet men are in this one category by themselves.
Right.
Everything less than quote unquote a cishet man is femme. That's honestly, that's already insane to think about. Like we're already accepting this paradigm, this myth. Because even when you look at cishet is a lot of shit in that spectrum. There's a lot, and there's a lot of like toxic shit where people wouldn't even admit to all the what do you call it? The spectrum that they're on. That it's not all just everybody over here is pimping, fucking all these women, and there's no bi people over here. There's nobody in the down low over here. There's nobody that had a sexual experience, anything less than just them having sex with a woman, a missionary position, a doggy style, or whatever the fuck. Like that, like that's how small that mentality in that group is. And so even the inclusion on the other side immediately accepts that like there's something feminine about that. But like if I'm a WNBA player who's a trans man, I'm immediately labeled like a femme no matter what I aspire to.
Right.
You know, no matter how I would like to be viewed.
And that's not fair, not right.
Yeah, I'm not even saying about fairness. I'm just saying this is how it is viewed, even by the good people who want to include everybody.
Yes.
So it's just like a weird, confusing thing that we don't truly have the language or understanding for yet. And I think that's just going to have to be the way it's going to be this way for a long time until it's not.
Yeah, and I think the language is coming, you know, the academic people, which they do their thing, and, you know, somebody will come up with something to have the right words.
Maybe, I don't know. Academic people tend to be a bit aloof from the general populace in a lot of ways, in that their language doesn't always trickle down to just your regular people. And you know, because a lot of these concepts are just already being dealt with in academia and have been for decades, and people still haven't caught on to it outside. But anyway, my whole point being like Macy Gray and Bette Midler, who also said some shit that got her in hot water. She said, we are being stripped of our rights. She said, women of the world, we are being stripped of our rights over our bodies, our lives, and even our name. They don't call us women anymore. They call us birthing people or menstruators, and even people with vaginas. Don't let them erase you. Every human on earth owes you. She got backlash from that. There was no intention of, she said, there was no intention of anything exclusionary or transphobic in what I said. It wasn't about that. I fought for marginalized people as long as I can remember. Still, if you want to dismiss my 60 years of proven love and concern over a tweet that accidentally angered the very people I've always supported and adored, so be it. And so even in her case, right, I'm personally reading that, I don't necessarily think she intended to like insult trans people. I also don't think there's any way to say what she said and not to some extent come off condescending and exclusionary. Like whether she wants it to be viewed that way or not, I really don't think she intended it that way. She doesn't seem like a TERF yet, because a lot of times it's the backlash that is when they come out as a TERF.
Right, they let you know. Yeah,
because they get further and further sinking down. But she seems to have been inspired by this New York Times article that says the left and the right both have a problem with women. They want women to be silent and disappear. And of course, on the left, on the right, it's easy, right? It's y'all can't get abortions, y'all have power to your bodies, blah, blah, blah. On the left, the argument is very semantic. It's like the language they use. Why are you saying birthing people? Why did y'all tweet out this? Like the ACLU tweeted out something about abortion rights, and they left women out of the descriptions of types of people that need abortion access. Like the ACLU's tweet says something to the effect of like, today we march for people affected by the latest SCOTUS ruling on abortion access. such as immigrants, birthing people, trans men. Like it went out of its way to name a lot of groups of people, but none of the group was just women. And so, to me, not the same as
not the same.
You got to go have a baby because we decided your body doesn't belong to you. I can understand maybe like a mild annoyance if you're like, y'all could have said women too. Like it wouldn't have been like, it's not a slur to say women in this thing, but it doesn't rise to the same level of me feeling like, and they want women to be silent.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's that. To me, it didn't come off that way. But she read that article and I think she was inspired by it, and she wrote that tweet. And I think a lot of women are having issues, cishet women are having issues not being able to just own women anymore.
Yeah.
Exclusively.
Yeah, like I told you, a marginalized group, you kind of TM'd it, then all of a sudden somebody else want to come and they want to kind of share in the trademark, then all of a sudden everybody get antsy and be like, no, this is my trademark only. It's like, no, this trademark is big enough for everybody in the room.
Yeah, and honestly, like, the language isn't perfect yet, because there are, like, calling someone a birthing person isn't perfect because you don't know what that woman plans to do with her body. So, like, it's not really a substitute for the word women. People, it's that thing I talk about on the show from time to time. One of the reasons I don't get too caught up in language about, other than the fact that it's like a purity thing now, it's a very virtue signaling thing.
Yes, it is.
But one of the reasons I don't get too caught up in language, as long as I'm not like slurring you or something, like as long as I'm not trying, or sometimes I just had to pick and be like, all right, I'm gonna just have to offend some people. They're not gonna like what I'm saying, and those people won't be friends of mine, fans of mine, and that's okay. But sometimes we don't have the language ready and we don't have a good substitute, or we're just trying to remove a stigma off of something,
right?
And it's impossible because whatever we call it is where the stigma will follow. So it's, I always use the same example, but it's colored, Negro, Black, African American, Black again, like it's
nigga, Negro, whatever you want to call it, right?
Like we've changed this language every 20, 30 years in America. I don't feel less marginalized because they stopped saying Negro. I feel like it's the same vitriol when the cops see a Black person and they shooting them. So it's that kind of feeling that really can't be quantified with language. Right. It's really more about like intent, and I think
and people want to erase that. We live in a society where people act like intent doesn't matter.
And definitely I understand it because women, including everybody, right, in that that term applies to, women are under attack in a lot of ways, period. And so then people want to be inclusive in that and go, well, it's not just women, trans men, and so now we need to come up with a term that when we say it is women and trans men. So it's birthing people. Not every trans man want to have a child. Not every cishet woman wants to have a child.
Nope.
So then it's menstruators. Like now you're just reducing me to my bodily functions. Like that's not necessary. People have hangups around that shit. It's not necessarily the inclusive term everyone has. Some women stop menstruating at a certain age.
Yeah, they do.
Like it's just, there's no clean way. So we either all have to allow each other a little bit of slack, a little bit of leeway,
right?
And we can, or we do this thing that's happening now where it's like everyone that doesn't get it right goes from friend and great person to fucking idiot that we hate, and I think self-fulfilling prophecy with this shit. Once Bette Midler is down this path and people start going in on her, unless she gets some serious intervention from some people she trusts, she gonna end up in the J.K. Rowling area because it's hard to go back when people are on your ass.
Yeah, I mean, that's why how can I say this? This is why a lot of times on social media, people have say, well, we got to teach her. Don't nobody learn no lesson about being yelled at. Your kids don't. You consistently yell at your kids. What lesson is your child learning other than you just yelling at them?
It won't be learned from Twitter.
Right.
I know that's for sure, but you know, maybe somebody can get in her ear, let her know if she righteous anyway, and she just fucked up a little bit, or she don't understand what happened there. Because like J.K. Rowling's already tweeting at Macy Gray about buying her whole catalog and shit. So like that's the last thing you want.
All right.
These motherfuckers coming out of nowhere like, you one of us now. Like, no thanks.
No. I said something crazy, started looking around the room, but like, oh, you know what? I think I might be on the wrong side of this. Let me get my ass from over here.
But yeah, hopefully somebody gets them. California, because to me, Macy Gray sounded way more resolute than Bette Midler sounded. Like Bette, wow, and a lot of, in all fairness, a lot of people are very angry after Roe v. Wade, and they're just lashing out and saying shit that I don't think they thought through.
Nope.
And if anything, I can be understanding of that, even with the Liz Estrada women and Bette Midler and some of the people who've said things that I've been like, oh, you didn't think that one through before you said that. Like Roe v. Wade was that shit being overturned is that much of a lightning rod.
Yes, because there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of intensity behind it, there's a lot of feelings, a lot of anger. Like I said, it's a ball of emotions all wrapped up in one. And a lot of times when people online, they don't filter. They just like, it popped in my head, I put it online. Nope, sometimes you need to filter it 2 or 3 times to structure it.
California Governor Gavin Newsom signs bill ending walking while trans law. Basically walking while trans is we've talked about it before, but it's basically assuming any trans person in public, especially if you clock them, and police officers and stuff, assume that they're sex workers.
I don't blame. No,
you can't just be a trans woman walking down the street minding your business. You must be there for the explicit purpose of sex work, and we need to take you downtown. We need to see your ID. We need all that type of shit.
Harassing.
Yeah. So he eliminated a provision of state law that prohibited loitering in a public place for the purpose of sex work. It's called the Safer Streets for All Act. He signed it this Friday. Man, I wouldn't be shocked if Newsom is planning to run for president at some point.
I could see it.
Like he could leapfrog over a lot of people. And the one of the things that is he especially was tested in California during that recall. That shit was over in 5 minutes. Like. And then he kept ruling California as like, no, it's gonna be a liberal democracy. Like I'm not gonna take this as a warning shot. I'm gonna take this as I defeated you motherfuckers twice now. Y'all have no say. So yes, y'all gonna get these motherfucking mandates with the vaccines. Yes, y'all gonna get these motherfucking lockdowns. Yes, y'all gonna get the motherfucking inclusive ass laws. I don't care. And I know he's going to definitely be one of the people that if he throws his hat in the ring, Black Twitter and Russian Twitter and all these people going to combine to tell me why I can't fuck with him because he's a white dude. I don't care.
I would vote for that nigga.
I don't care. Like, he's just one of them people. Him, Governor Blackface. Like,
come on.
I've been watching him.
Yeah, Governor Moonwalk. Yes, let's go.
I've been watching him and watching like the way he's been ruling and the laws he's been passing and stuff. No governor, no politician is gonna be perfect, period. But he's doing a damn good job in California.
Because it's about your actions.
Yeah, even with shit that honestly people do not consider to be that important. Not that they aren't important, but like this type of law is not something that most voters will act like. They won't see this as a top even 10 priority. But this is a quality of life priority, and it's a number 1 priority for trans people,
right? In
your state, and a lot of states should be passing laws like this because you're basically opening up people to be harassed constantly by the fucking police for nothing.
For nothing.
All right, let's move out of this since we had some good news. And let's move to some other news. You know the other type of news we like. The bad news kind. Okay, let's do some
bad news.
Yeah, let's do some fucking with black people.
We're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them people because they black.
We're just fucking with them black people. We're just fucking with them blacks. We're just fucking with black people. Hey, who, hey, who, you are.
Oh man, let's do it. Fucking with black people. We go around the globe, find different articles and make us feel fucked with. The wheel side point scores from 0 to 100, intervals of 25. Today's contestants, everybody. Have you heard of GOP candidate Jerome Davison, Karen?
Sounds like a black man.
Does sound like a black man. Let's look at his campaign ad and see what that's all about, okay? Because he's out here on these streets trying to get to the votes, okay? He claims he got AR-15s in his ad, so that's how you know it's Republican. And he claims that he gonna
country music too.
I don't know. He claims he's gonna make them spray though.
Democrats like to say that.
Now, what are you looking at here, Karen?
What? Why am I looking at a Klan member with a citronella candle?
That ain't no candle. That is a it looks like is it a tiki torch? Is that what they're called? It's not a candle. Is it a citronella torch or something like that?
Yeah, like they was down there in Charlottesville.
Do you notice what's on his chest?
Oh, a Democrat.
A donkey.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I meant. but Democrat, that's what the donkey stand for.
All right, here we go.
Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense.
Why has his mug got an American flag on it?
He got the Negan back. Why he still Negan's bat?
Yeah, I thought it was a bat wrapped in barbed wire, but maybe it's a torch. I don't know. You could be right. But
because I'm assuming that because the way he was holding it at first.
Yeah, here's my thing though. Why he got an American flag coffee cup?
You know why? America. Fuck yeah.
Also, why is his kitchen out of 1950s? And so is his suit.
And he didn't go to Supercuts.
An AR-15 for self-defense. No one needs an AR-15 for self-defense.
So he said Democrats say no one needs a AR-15. Matter of fact, let me play it all the way through and then we'll go back.
Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense. That no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods, you just might need that semi-automatic and all 30 rounds.
Jerome Davis should have been playing A Change Gonna Come. That's where he fucked up. In that Malcolm X suit with the AR-15. Yeah, and I do want to know who were the white people he got to play the Klans members, and why did they already have these in their house? So all we need to do is change the patch, and we'll be right on over, Jerome. We got you, buddy. He also said Democrats are the Klan, because y'all know how the modern day Democratic Party is the real Klan, and the Republicans are the inclusive ones.
Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15.
The American flag cup is such great pandering.
Of course.
As he is just sitting there.
Only thing he missing is Eagles posted on the cabinets.
He got his high school class ring on and his good gray suit. He's just sipping on that coffee like.
And the American dream of a white kitchen, and most people can't afford.
Another day, get my gun and pointed at some Democrat Klans members.
AR-15 for self-defense. That no one could possibly need.
Now, was he praying there? What was he? Okay, so that's him praying. He praying, Lord, don't let my aim be straight, Lord.
Need
let
all
these bullets hit the target.
But when this rifle is the only.
Shout out to whoever got this not even a pitchfork, this rake.
Okay. Somebody was like, can we borrow this hoe? They was like, sure.
Right. Somebody come over there with a broom. Where are they guns at? You telling me the modern day Klan ain't got guns? They rolling
Come
up. They
on.
still got rakes.
Thing standing between your family.
Why did he put the shades on when he got the gun though? I feel like his aim gonna be off now that it's dark with the shades. He's like, but I'll be looking cool.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, they on somebody's farm and they was like, go to the shed and just pick up a tool.
A baton, hammers.
Yes, I told you. They were just picking up. What's this? Something with brick. Pick it up.
This is a Klans member with safety scissors.
Yes, in the background. They got holes and all types of chisels.
And a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods.
When has this scenario happened post the civil rights movement? A dozen angry Democrats in hoods. What does anybody? A dozen angry Democrats ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, they don't got guns.
Right? We call a dozen angry Democrats a Twitter storm. That's all they gonna. They just gonna.
All right.
They just gonna tweet
Post
through
it
it
online.
Okay, they don't got no guns.
Mm-mm.
They don't do shit. They just like.
In fact, they're gonna get angry and said this took more than 12 seconds.
A
So why am I here?
A dozen angry Democrats got more chance showing up on Joe Biden's lawn.
Yeah, they do. Than yours.
This nigga
just might need that semi-automatic.
The fact that he didn't shoot them is he didn't take the commercial far enough. Also, this is another pull out a gun, aim it at some Democrats type of ad. These Republicans are in bed with these guns so bad, and they always imply shooting the people they disagree with. The fact that he's trying to pull a Malcolm X here is amazing too, considering what Malcolm stood for.
Come on.
And lastly, it's the hood in his swimming pool floating, which I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I don't know what the hood. They took off the hood and threw it in the pool.
Yeah, these Klans people very comfortable. They got on Skechers and jogging pants and shit.
We don't want to be too uncomfortable. You know, Democrats love Skechers. A dozen angry Democrats in hood.
The shoe of the people that got to be on their feet for long periods of time.
You know how you get when you go up to Maine or California or you in New York City and you see a bunch of angry Democrats in hoods and you like, here they come. Where my AR-15?
I wonder. Yes, somebody said, did they make up a bomb? I wonder, did somebody was like, oh yeah, I got something out in the back.
Yeah, I also like that he had to specify that it was Democrat Klans people, because he don't got no problem with Republican Klans people. That's
apparently not.
Okay, that's who he's hoping to vote for. No, he hoping they'll vote for him. Oh man, 0 to 100, Karen.
Oh, this gets your cards. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I give it 100. I give it 75 because it made me laugh. But it's ridiculous. It's not well thought through.
And I know one thing, you definitely ain't got no black family members, because somebody trust you got to invite, nigga. Don't you bring your ass up
The
here to
fact
nobody's
that
family reunion.
If he had a black family and they all had guns, that would make more sense.
Right.
Like honestly, he must not have a family. He must not be married to a black woman or something. I mean, in addition to whatever his politics are. But it's like, because the opportunity to have a whole family playing guns is too rich. Like, he would have to do it if he had a black family. You gotta.
That's why I say this is a solo job. They love to bring their kids and their family and everybody else out there. So this is like a solo deal. So bet he asked, and they was like, "Nigga, I'm not doing that."
So here's the last part. Okay, and it's gonna get a little. This might, no pun intended, be a little friendly fire, but, and I mean it sincerely. I'm not saying it even to like shit on these people. This is the fantasy of a lot of black gun owners, and it's used like, it's not very much difference between what him and Killer Mike say and any other nigga that owns like assault rifle. They always had this weird fantasy of the white man is coming for them and they got enough time to get to their AR-15 and level the whole clan, because it's all. And I've always found that argument to be one of the least compelling arguments of gun ownership, you know, I'd rather you just admit you want a big, dangerous death machine that you just think is cool.
Just say that.
Because this scenario is never gonna happen. Like of you having plenty of warning and the white man coming with the Klans people and you shoot them and then everything's fine.
Yeah.
The whole law goes, yeah, self-defense and everything. Like,
no, nigga, when 100 people show up surround your house, look how many guns you got up in there.
yeah, it's very much like this weird and like Killer Mike traffics in this. Like, and shit. I mean, Ida B. Wells talked about a rifle being on over the mantle of every black house, but at least that was during the motherfucking like the time where like she was trying to get anti-lynching legislation passed and shit. Like it was a different time. But and like I said, I'm of the reasons to own a gun in America is not the worst ones of all, but it's still such a like, I don't know, hyper masculine fantasy. And I think if you find his ad to be ridiculous, then you need to admit like kind of your fantasy is also ridiculous. Because the only difference between his fantasy and yours is that he said Democrats. Like, like what's the difference between the fantasies? It's still a white people gonna roll up on me and I need to have my AR-15 and you have no reason to believe it's gonna happen. It's not happened to you, it's never happened to you. It's just a way to justify it, you know. And it's not like we live in the only society with racist people, but we live in the only society where everyone can have a gun. And this is why we always got a reason to have a gun. Every reason to have a gun is essentially someone else got a gun.
Oh yeah, that's why people justify it. Yes.
Yeah, that's why we don't need guns. All right. Georgia Senate passes bill that would limit discussions about race and class. Don't say black law. I don't know.
Don't point out we different law.
Right. The don't say race law. The Georgia Senate has approved a measure that prohibits local school boards and administrators from discriminating on basis of race by promoting or encouraging divisive concepts in classrooms. Divisive concepts. No specificity on what that is.
That's why they make it vague. They purposely make it vague so they can pick and choose what's considered.
And then when you get sued, right? Then when you get sued about the shit, that's when we find out what it means.
Correct. It's whatever they want it to mean.
House Bill 1084, known as the Protect Students First Act.
Protect White Kids Feelings Act.
It passed 32-21 in the Senate Friday. According to Senate Press Director Andrew Allison, the bill now heads to the House for final approval before it can make it to Brian Kemp's desk to be signed into law. A version of the measure had first passed the State House last month. The legislation would prohibit schools and local school systems from advocating divisive concepts and ensure that curricula and training programs encourage students and employees to practice tolerance and respect and not judge others based on race. The sad part is the language and the framing of it is already implemented in schools, right? But it's not it's the wink wink that they mean, which is white race, meaning we think you teaching about the history of America is about making white kids feel judged for being white. So you can't teach about slavery or the civil rights movement. And then these fucking kids grow up thinking America's the greatest again because no one's teaching them this stuff.
Right. You can't challenge your parents about something that you learned in school. You know, but like you said, the internet moves faster, so they still gonna learn the shit through other means, you know. But I think that they feel like if we get the children young enough, we can brainwash them where even though they might hear these external things, they're more apt to ignore them. And this goes, my question is this. Remember, what was it, last week or whatever, you were talking about Stacey Abrams? Do you want Stacey Abrams or do you want more of this nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people go, well, she not perfect. Oh, okay, bitch. But this nigga is like, don't talk about nobody. We don't care about indigenous people. We stole their land. We don't care about the Trail of Tears. We don't want to talk about the internment camps for Asian Americans here. We don't want to talk about none of that shit. You want that on the books, because that's the thing. People act like is you're going to get this perfect candidate, and you're not.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, she would veto this shit.
Yes, she'd be like, if y'all don't get this bullshit out of here.
All right. But yeah, it's super foul. 0 to 100.
Oh, this gets a Jakaris because he just been on the list. This nigga is pro coronavirus, pro having stupid children. He is against teachers unions, but he's for police unions though. It's like anything, you know, it's just really, really fucked up. He just made, like, him and the governor down in Florida, and then the governor of Texas. Is fucking frustrating when you go, y'all have a lot of black and brown people, a lot of times more than any other part of the country, and y'all pass these fucked up laws that's affecting these people at a higher clip. We might be a smaller percentage, but these laws you pass affect our percentage, that small percentage, at a greater percentage.
Yeah, I'm with you. I give it Jakaris as well. I like disgusting dude, disgusting what's happening in that state, and I really hope they can find some type of way to grab that from the clutches of Republicans, because these kids that grow up are going to be so fucked up by the state.
Right. Yeah, like somebody said, because bitch, he stole that election.
Right.
And that's the part that people try to gloss across, and was like, well, why didn't she say congratulations? Because bitch, he didn't earn it. He fucking stole it. No. Right.
All right, let's go to the next one. White teen charged with hate crime after throwing cotton and whipping black student. A 15-year-old high school student has been arrested and charged with a hate crime after he threw cotton and whipped a black student. Can they teach about that in school? Maybe they could teach him not to, if he knew. I don't know. A 9th grader at Vanderbilt Catholic High School in Houma, Louisiana was charged with simple battery and a hate crime. He was booked into the Terrebonne Parish Juvenile Detention Center. The incident was captured on video and soon surfaced on social media. On March 9th, the white male student was recorded throwing cotton at a black male student who was seated in the cafeteria. The white student also whipped the black student with what appears to be a small belt. I'm very pleased that the school took a front stand on this. Sonia said Wednesday, when we received the complaint, we immediately put our detectives on it. They worked through the weekend so we could get to this point and effect an arrest on that juvenile. Yeah, where did he learn that?
All right, this gets Jakaris, and it's also, people need to be careful of like a lot of these laws they pass, because eventually, guess what? You're not even gonna be able to punish. You're not even gonna be able to punish, suspend enough, and they're gonna make it where that shit is all right, and there's not really gonna be anything you can do, because once they start chipping, they're gonna go for everything, anything that people complain about or have issues about. All these marginalized groups, they gonna say, y'all shut the fuck up, and white people ought to be able to do what they want to do. They're gonna pass laws saying that you can wear Confederate. You can in a lot of places anyway, but they gonna put it on the books where you can wear Confederate flags, eagles. They bringing all that shit back. That's the whole purpose of them passing these fucked up ass laws. Then they don't want to teach you nothing.
Right. And why did you think, like, my thing is also like, it's possible this kid just thought it was funny. You know what I mean? It's still a hate crime. It's still despicable. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like excusing it, but it's possible that what he was thinking was like, oh, this will be hilarious. And it sounds like you did it for clout because you knew it was being recorded. So like, this is, you thought this shit would be cool on TikTok? Like, what was the exact plan here? Is the question for me. But yeah, obviously, go to jail, go directly to jail. I don't give a fuck that you're not a grown up. You seem like a terrible person, and maybe it'll teach you something. It was a cap. It says the parish NAACP president Jerome Boykin applauded the school officials. So it seemed like people are happy with the response to to it and them taking it serious. So I guess that's good. But
Mhm.
Dracarys can't learn about that in school, but you can get teased about it at lunch.
Right.
Make that make sense.
Right. And it's embarrassing, and the internet is forever.
All right. Guess the race time.
What time is it?
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
Guess the race time. We go around the globe, find different articles, guess the race of the people involved. The contestants are Karen and the chat room, and they all are racist. A Florida nurse has been fired for posting photos on social media cruelly mocking a newborn with a birth defect. Sierra Samuels, a neonatal intensive care nurse at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami, was fired Thursday following an investigation that began early last month after 2 photos of a newborn with an abdominal wall birth defect were posted to her Instagram account. My night was going great, then boom. One post by Samuels read, showing a photo of the newborn taken inside the hospital's newborn intensive care unit. A second photo posted by Samuels showed the newborn again and had a hashtag citing the child's birth defect, gastroschisis, where a baby's intestines are found outside the body, exiting through a hole beside the belly button.
Oh no, I didn't know this was a thing.
Your intestines supposed to be inside, now outside, baby, her post read. Samuels, who posted several other photos of herself on the job, was placed on administrative leave last month after the photos surfaced. Hospital officials cited patient privacy as a top priority while saying the blatant reach would be investigated. Employees who violate these privacy rules, despite being educated, are subject to disciplinary action, including suspension or termination. She had been working there since 2016, so she definitely knew better. But man, like honestly, I saw a video last night of a nurse where it was like working 5 hours and just lost my first patient, and it was like she had set up the camera to record her like reacting to it, like almost like when you see an NFL player like throw an interception or something, and they do that like hands on the knees, and you know, and it was like, did someone die and you thought I should go on TikTok and get some clout? Like, you at work, man.
This is the shit that frustrates me, and I really do think it's a generational thing. And a lot of jobs are gonna start, if they started, but a lot of jobs gonna start fucking clamping down and be like, if we see your fucking phone out and it's not an emergency, they're gonna have to make really, really strict laws because you're violating people's privacy. You know, because if this was my child, I want to choke the shit out of you for putting my child on the internet.
Employed. So then, an attorney told WFOR last month that Samuels not only breached the newborn's privacy but also violated the HIPAA Act.
Right.
Violated HIPAA. In addition to the general HIPAA violation that we be looking at here, there's a sense of decency about the rights and expectations we all have on our likenesses and images. With images, you have certain expectation of privacy that if you're in an area that you believe to be private, and in this case, a hospital even more so. The child's mother has been notified of privacy breach. Her Instagram profile, which is marked private, identifies her as a mommy and a dry cereal consumer and a professional book reader and a bipolar lover. She has more than 600 followers. Karen, guess the race.
What's her name?
Sierra Samuels.
Oh, black. Yeah, and this gets a Dracarys too, just for the simple fact that that's just really
Dracarys.
Really
we don't even know the race of the baby. We don't know her race.
No, I'm just giving it a Dracarys.
Oh, okay, I understand. Nurse Ratchet is definitely a black. Mad niggerish behavior, black. Praying in a vain that this woman is white. Oh, praying in vain that this woman is white. I'm a hope white. Florida black. I know my people. Black woman being bad. Sierra or Sierra. It's the second one with an S. I'm going with black on this one. Dumbass on the IG nigga shit. The correct answer is black. couple of people did miss it.
Yeah, I gave it Jacaris because it's called fucking with black people. I'm black and I'm fucked with.
Yeah, I hear you. She cute too. I mean, she kind of got that like, dead doll eyes. Like maybe she's lost all her empathy because she's had this type of job for a long time. But
yeah, you can't be doing that.
She definitely could be one of those nurses. Y'all know who I'm talking about, the nurses on Instagram that got the scrubs that shows they still got a big butt. Maybe she's one of those, and that's how she got the followers, but definitely a bad look on that one, fam.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I would demand that you wouldn't be working.
Yeah,
not at that particular job. Not to say you can't never work again, but bitch, this job, no.
Right. All right, let's go to the next one. 7 grams of cocaine retrieved from a suspect's rectum after arrest on drug charges in Beaufort County.
Oh no!
On August 12th, Beaufort County Sheriff's Office drug unit investigators arrested Philip Raheem Reeves, 39. He was charged with possession with the intent to sell, deliver marijuana, possession with intent to sell and deliver cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Reeves' arrest came after complaints about him selling drugs. After a traffic stop and a search by K9 body investigators found marijuana in a digital scale in Reeves' vehicle. After he was transported to the magistrate's office, Reeves asked to go to the bathroom. He was escorted, and while in the bathroom, they witnessed him shove a plastic bag of cocaine into his rectum. The 7 grams of cocaine in the bag were retrieved. Reeves was...
Who had that job?
He was being held in the sheriff's county office until $10,000 secure bond. Karen, guess the race of Mr. Reeves.
I'm going to go black. Was it crack or cocaine?
It was cocaine and weed.
Oh, I'm going to go black. And can you imagine? Call Jimbo. Why we need Jimbo? Hit somebody. He gotta get it out his ass. Like that's somebody's job to pull that shit out his ass.
Yep. Let's check the chat room.
Did I ask?
Black as fuck. That ass sugar black. Franklin Saint, other Uncle Black. White. The black booty is stuff. Cocaine black. It's a booty hole. Black. Bump black. I'm gonna go black for Raheem. Okay, that makes sense. And the correct answer is black.
Girl, you can't get no infection in your booty hole. It's a booty hole.
And of course, nobody missed that one, right? I think everybody got that one. Man, that's jail time is intense. That's one reason I don't think I could be a cocaine dealer. I mean, among many other reasons, but that's a big one. Like sometimes the shit go wrong. I gotta throw something on my ass. I'm good.
I'm good on that.
I'm gonna get caught. Tell you right now.
Yep.
I mean, somebody got to get away with it, but it won't be me.
Nope. That's why I'm like this. That's not my lane.
Yeah. All right, let's do one more. It's time for the bonus round. Where's my bonus round music?
That was why I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get
gold teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey eat baboon, big thigh, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
A suspected shoplifter brandished a knife at a Home Depot employee in West Hampton Sunday evening and was arrested in a parking lot by township police, who said they found the man clad in a tactical bulletproof vest and carrying a bag with a loaded shotgun.
God damn.
Mark C. Payne, 37, is charged with robbery, firearm possession crimes, and several other charges for quantities of methamphetamine, 5 knives, and 29 shotgun shells.
And the partridge in the pear tree?
And the partridge in the pear tree.
Ooh, these numbers.
Yeah, he was trying to make everybody see pain.
Apparently so.
West Hampton police described an allegedly brief but tense situation with Payne after he ran from the home improvement store around following the 5 p.m. incident. After threatening a loss prevention employee with a knife, the store called.
You can have that shit. The loss prevention, you can walk past me. That's why I'm like, no, I'm not stopping them. They walk past these doors. It's their shit.
I feel like loss prevention people in Home Depot should have nail guns.
Something.
The store called 911. The employee flagged down a responding officer and pointed where the man fled. Officers encountered Payne in a parking lot and successfully de-escalated their encounter to take him into custody. The department also arrested Payne in January 2021 during a traffic stop in which an officer allegedly spotted a switchblade knife on his vehicle's center console. That led to a search of the vehicle and the seizing of a handgun, ammunition, and quantities of methamphetamine and marijuana, numerous drug pipes and syringes, 7 jars of steroid liquids, 9 liquids.
What is you baking, baby?
9 burglar tools, 2 more knives, 15 counterfeit $100 bills,
and a cup of sugar. The hell is we baking over here? This recipe makes no sense.
And a ballistic vest and a partridge in the pear tree. He faces numerous charges for that case, which is pending in Superior Court in Burlington County. He is a convicted felon who was recently freed from state prison after serving a sentence for running a meth lab that caught fire in February 2014.
Oh, shit!
One firefighter was injured in the blaze, which caused over $60,000 damage to the home. Woo. Authorities found a machine pistol in that home, as well as items to operate a drug lab. And Payne took a plea deal for the first-degree crime of operating a drug facility. He was sentenced in April 2015 to an 11-year term that required 5.5 years behind bars to attain parole. Karen, guess the race of Mr. Mark C. Payne.
White.
Okay, all right. Check the chat room. I wonder if he got any albums using auto-tune like T-Pain. That could be his cousin.
Hey.
The possible white man. Walter, this is a white man, white. Walter White fell on some hard times, white. You'll never take me alive, but taking alive, milky soft cowboy. Impossible white man. The one who knocks Walter White. You think of me? 3 names, white. Only a white man can commit so many crimes in one go. Well, it sounds like he had about 3 goes.
Yeah, he did.
C stands for cracker. The correct
he had 9 lives like a cat.
The correct answer is white.
Oh, he did that.
He look like a Bond villain.
He does. He look like the one with the eye.
Like, is that contacts or is that his eye? Like, one of his eyes is blood red for real, or just a pupil.
Is Remy Malek gonna pop up?
And
What's happening?
Yeah, I think he got contacts in. And they look like the contacts that you get when you know.
Sure, he not an android?
When you do the kind of crimes he do. Oh, man.
Leave the drugs alone.
I mean, can't leave the game alone. The game needs him. Okay.
Apparently so. That should make your eye make your whole eye turn red.
Yeah, out here selling that shit. Okay. All right. So Karen, you are 3 for 3 today.
Yay!
Yeah, congratulations. Let's get into some sword ratchetness. A 44-year-old man was arrested for cutting a cake with a sword in Nashik.
Oh, okay. What? Why do you need that for a cake?
Exactly.
How big is this cake?
Go to jail. A 44-year-old resident of Panchavati was arrested on Wednesday under sections of the Indian Arms Act for publicly cutting a cake with a sword to celebrate Father's Day.
They was like, we got utensils to do this. You don't need that.
What a dad joke. The accused has been identified as Shantaram Gurgood, a constable attached to the Crime Branch Unit 1 on Tuesday, received information that Gurgood had cut a cake with a sword to celebrate Father's Day in his area. Shout out to whoever snitched. I wonder if they was eating a piece of cake on the phone, like, hello, 911. It's me.
This cake is delicious.
First of all, vanilla frosting. You can't go wrong. Second of all, this nigga cut it with a sword.
You know that's what they said.
Come get him, sword police. The constable had also got information that Gurgood had hidden the sword in his residence. Oh, yeah, he got to go. Okay, I just watched Miss Marvel, the documentary about the Indian culture, and this is dangerous. He could have been going around burning Muslim people's houses. I don't know. Acting on information, police rushed to Gurgood's residence to interrogate him about the weapon. Later, his house was searched and the sword was found beneath his bed. Oh, that's not even a clever place to hide it. He confessed that he had sourced the sword illegally. After he was arrested, he was handed over to the Crime Branch, which is just a big switch. That's what a Crime Branch is. Just whoop your ass with a switch. All right, y'all. That's it. Manganji is out. So we got to get out of here too, man. Appreciate y'all. We'll talk to y'all later on. No pregame of Balls Deep tomorrow because we got to go see that Thor.
Yes. Love and Thunder. Let's go.
If you're a premium Spotify person that gets the one episode a week, we'll make sure to get you something in there. And everybody else, we'll talk to you Saturday. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.